Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. And this one is really interesting to me because we're talking about self-discovery through journaling.
Oh,
Um, and we are going to be looking at a specific brand that really focuses on that Listallion.
interesting.
And I'm really excited about this one because
Yeah.
I actually went through a really hard time a few years back. And journaling actually really helped me through that.
Hmm.
And it's so interesting that, journaling it can act as a mirror to our thoughts and emotions.
Right. It's like having an objective observer inside of ourselves, you know?
That's so true, and it helps you see patterns that you wouldn't normally see.
Yeah.
And so for me, I felt completely lost and overwhelmed at that time. I had moved to a new city, I just started a new job, and a long-term relationship had just ended.
Wow.
So it was a lot all at once.
Yeah.
And it was journaling that helped me process all that, and I actually used a Listallion journal.
Wow. It's amazing how a simple act like that can bring such clarity.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little more about what drew you to Listallion specifically?
Yeah, I've always been kind of a stationary geek.
Okay.
And I was browsing online one day, and I came across these Listallion journals, and they just looked different.
Hmm.
They had thick, high-quality paper. The covers looked really durable.
Yeah.
They had all these nice details like numbered pages and a table of contents.
Yeah.
It seems like a really special journaling experience. And plus, they focus on self-discovery, which really resonated with me.
Yeah, and it's like choosing the right tool for the job. And when it comes to self-discovery, it seems like Listallion has really carefully considered the features that can enhance that process.
Right.
For example, the high-quality paper not only prevents ink from bleeding through,
Right.
which can be really distracting when you're writing, but it also provides a smooth, almost luxurious writing experience.
Yeah.
It really encourages you to keep writing.
That's so true, because there's something really tactile about writing on good paper with a good pen. And I think that actually makes a difference when you're trying to delve deep
Yeah.
into your thoughts and feelings.
Absolutely. And speaking of going deep, I think we should probably define what we mean by self-discovery journaling.
Okay.
It's not just a diary where you record the daily events.
Right.
It's a deliberate practice of introspection. You know, it's exploring your values, beliefs, motivations.
Right.
It's about asking yourself those big, sometimes uncomfortable questions
Yeah.
and being honest with your answers.
And it's not always easy.
No.
I remember at first I really struggled with putting my deepest thoughts and feelings on paper.
Yeah.
It felt so exposing,
Yeah.
almost scary.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
That's a common hurdle, especially at the beginning.
Right.
And it reminds me of a friend of mine. He's a very successful entrepreneur.
Hmm.
He always projected this image of confidence and control,
Okay.
and he started journaling as a way to manage stress,
Yeah.
but he really hit a wall when it came to expressing his fears and insecurities. It took him a long time to break through that resistance.
So did he eventually manage to overcome that fear?
He did.
What happened?
He realized that his journal was a private space,
Hmm.
like a judgment-free zone where he could be completely himself.
Yeah.
And that realization was liberating.
Wow.
It allowed him to tap into a level of honesty and self-awareness he hadn't experienced before.
That is so inspiring. It shows that even people who appear to have it all
Right.
can benefit from that self-reflection and vulnerability.
Yeah.
So let's get back to some of those features in the Listallion journals.
Okay.
What are some of the other aspects that make them really stand out for self-discovery?
Well, the durable covers are important, you know,
Okay.
because they can withstand the wear and tear of you carrying it around and using it regularly.
Right.
You want a journal that feels like a trusted companion,
Right.
something that can hold the weight of your journey, literally and metaphorically.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like this safe space to hold all those thoughts and emotions. What about those numbered pages in a table of contents?
Yeah.
I know those might seem like small details,
Yeah.
but I find them so helpful.
Yeah. And it's those seemingly small details
Right.
that can make a big difference in the whole experience.
Exactly.
The numbered pages and the table of contents allows you to organize your thoughts, track your progress, easily revisit past entries.
Yeah.
And that's particularly useful when you're trying to identify patterns in your thinking or behavior.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I use the table of contents almost like an index.
Okay.
So I'll have an entry called career goals.
Right.
And then I can go back to the table of contents and easily find all the entries throughout the journal that are about career goals.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant strategy, and it just highlights how those features, while seemingly simple, can be really powerful tools for self-discovery.
Yeah.
It's all about creating a system that works for you.
Right.
and allows you to navigate your inner world with greater clarity and purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like having a personal map of your inner landscape.
Yeah.
You start to see the connections, the recurring themes, the
Yeah.
things that bring you joy, and the things that trigger,
Yeah.
those not so pleasant emotions.
It's true for me. One of the biggest things I realized was how much my self-worth was tied to external validation,
Wow.
especially in my career.
Okay.
I noticed when I would read back through my journal entries,
Yeah.
like my Listalian journal, I noticed how often my mood dipped when I didn't receive praise at work
Oh, wow.
or, felt overlooked for a promotion.
Yeah.
And it was a tough realization, but it was also really powerful.
Yeah, it's a great example of how journaling can help us identify those subconscious beliefs and patterns,
Right.
that really
Right.
shape our lives.
Yeah,
We often operate on autopilot,
totally.
unaware of those underlying motivations
Right.
that are driving our actions and reactions.
It's like shining a light on those shadowy corners of our minds, the parts that we usually try to avoid
Right.
or deny.
And that's where the real growth happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of something I was reading on the Listalian website. They talk about these journaling prompts
Yeah.
as a way to guide self-discovery.
Yeah, they're great.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how those work?
Yeah, prompts are like those little nudges, that get you thinking in new directions.
Okay.
They offer those starting points for exploration, especially when you're feeling stuck or unsure where to begin.
Yeah.
They can be simple, like, what am I grateful for today?
Okay.
Or thought-provoking, like,
Yeah.
what are the stories I tell myself about why I can achieve my dreams?
Right. Those are good ones.
Yeah,
And Listalian, they actually include prompts in their journals, right?
they do.
Yeah.
And they're carefully curated to encourage that introspection and self-reflection.
Okay.
I remember seeing one that really resonated with me.
Okay.
What would my life look like if fear wasn't holding me back?
Wow, that is a good one.
Yeah.
That makes you realize how much we limit ourselves
Yeah.
based on fear.
Or self-doubt.
Yeah, and that's where those design choices come in again.
Right?
Features like the 211 pages,
Yeah.
that offers that ample space
Yeah.
for you to explore those deep questions and really unpack your thoughts and feelings.
Right.
And, it's not about filling every single page,
Right.
but having the freedom to write as much or as little as you need on any given day.
And the wide lines are great.
Yes.
For people like me who have very enthusiastic handwriting,
Yes.
I appreciate that extra space to
Yeah.
spread out my thoughts.
Totally. And let's not forget about that back pocket.
Yeah.
It's a small but clever addition that allows you to store, mementos
Right.
or inspirational notes that relate to your journaling journey.
Yeah.
It's like creating a tangible representation of your inner world.
Speaking of tangible representations, I have a funny story about that.
My younger sister was going through a rough patch a few years ago, feeling lost, unsure of her next steps in life.
Yeah.
And so I gave her a Listalian journal for her birthday,
Hmm.
hoping it would help her process everything.
Okay.
And she did find it helpful, but not in the way I expected.
Okay.
She's a very visual person,
Okay.
and so she turned her journal into a mixed media art project.
Wow.
So she would write down her thoughts and feelings,
Yeah.
but she would also paste in pictures, draw images, create these little collages
Wow.
that represented kind of her emotional landscape.
That's amazing.
It was messy and chaotic,
Yeah.
but it worked for her.
Yeah. That's great. And it just highlights how self-discovery journaling can take many forms.
Right.
It's not about, following a rigid set of rules.
Wow.
It's about finding what resonates with you and allows you to express yourself authentically.
Right. And Listalian journals, those durable covers
Right.
and the high quality paper,
Yeah.
they can accommodate those kinds of creative expressions.
Absolutely.
It's not about achieving some kind of journaling perfection.
Right.
It's about creating a space for genuine self-exploration.
Yeah.
And sometimes that gets a little messy,
Right.
a little chaotic,
Yeah.
but that's all part of the process.
It's about embracing the imperfections, the messiness,
Yeah.
the raw emotions that come with self-discovery.
Right.
And that's where the real beauty lies.
I couldn't agree more. It's about peeling back those layers,
Yeah.
even the uncomfortable ones,
Yeah.
and accepting ourselves for who we are.
And that acceptance, that self-compassion
Yeah.
is ultimately what allows us to grow and evolve
Yeah. Right.
into the best versions of ourselves.
But let's be honest, committing to regular journaling,
Yeah,
it can be tough.
it can be.
Life gets in the way, motivation wanes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just feels easier to scroll through social media
Yeah.
than to confront those deep inner questions.
You're right. It's a practice, not a quick fix.
Yeah.
It requires dedication and effort, especially at the beginning.
Right.
But the rewards are so worth it.
So how do we make journaling a sustainable practice,
Yeah.
especially when we're juggling busy lives and everything else?
Right. Well, it's about finding what works for you.
Mm.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
Some people thrive on routine,
Okay.
setting aside, a specific time each day.
Right.
Others prefer a more spontaneous approach writing, only when inspiration strikes.
Mm.
The key is to experiment
Okay.
and discover what feels most natural and sustainable for you.
And it doesn't have to be a huge time commitment.
No, not at all.
Even just a few minutes
Exactly.
of focused reflection can make a difference.
Absolutely. Even 5 minutes of intentional writing
Yeah.
can be incredibly beneficial. It's about quality over quantity.
Right.
And that's where having a journal like a Listallion can really enhance the experience.
Right.
Its compact size makes it easy to carry around.
Right.
So you can sneak in a few minutes of journaling whenever you have a spare moment.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
I actually keep my Listallion journal in my bag all the time.
Oh, nice.
So if I have like a few minutes waiting for an appointment or something,
yeah.
I can just pull it out
Yeah.
and jot down some thoughts.
I love that.
Yeah, it's
By the
become like
way.
a trusted companion,
That's a great analogy.
always there to listen without judgment.
And it speaks to the power of journaling
Yeah.
to create a sense of connection,
Yeah.
not just with ourselves,
Right?
but also with something larger. It's
Mm.
like we're documenting our own personal evolution,
Yeah.
creating a record of our thoughts, feelings, and experiences
Right.
that we can revisit and learn from over time.
It's true. Looking back through old journal entries can be so insightful.
It is.
It's like having a conversation with your past self
Yeah.
and offering wisdom and encouragement to your present self.
And that's one of the things I find most remarkable about self-discovery journaling. It's a lifelong practice.
Yeah.
It's a journey that continues to unfold with each entry we write.
I have a whole shelf
Oh, wow.
dedicated to my old journals.
Nice.
And it's fascinating to see how my handwriting, my writing style,
Yeah.
even the topics I choose to explore
Yeah.
have evolved over the years.
That's a beautiful visual representation
Yeah.
of your personal growth.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the power of journaling,
Yeah.
to capture the essence of who we are at different stages of our lives.
And it's a reminder that self-discovery is not a destination.
Right.
It's a journey.
It is.
There's always more to learn, more to uncover, more to
Oh,
understand
exactly.
about ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think having a tool like the Listallion journal with its thoughtful design and its focus on self-discovery
Mm-hmm.
can make that journey even more enriching and rewarding.
Well said. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I
Yeah.
want to encourage all of our listeners to embrace the practice of self-discovery journaling. Whether you choose a Listallion or another journal that resonates with you,
Yeah.
make time for this incredible tool for self-exploration and growth.
Take that first step, even if it's just a few lines
Yeah.
in a notebook. You might be amazed by where the journey takes you.
Absolutely. And if you're interested in exploring Listallion's range of journals,
Yeah.
be sure to check out their website.
I think you'll be impressed by their commitment to quality and their passion for self-discovery.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into self-discovery journaling.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening, everyone.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep reflecting, and keep writing your own story.